All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Okay, so let's talk about what World War III will look like. Okay, we know that World War III will be a nuclear war, so it's probably gonna look something like this picture right here that you guys are seeing. Just uh, a complete chaos and destruction, right? That's what World War III will look like. Because it's gonna be a nuclear war. That is something that we do not want to be here for. I mean, and we might be here for it, but I don't know. Um, it's something that's coming. We all know it's coming. We see exactly what's going on. We see the alignment that is going on and the alliances that are taking place now. We see all the troops in the Middle East, surrounding Israel. We see all that going on. Now, before we get into World War III, we also know that there's going to be several different little wars and before World War III. And of course, Israel will go to war with everybody, right? And then Israel will basically be destroyed, right? Almost, well, not all the way destroyed, but Israel will be really, really hammered before the coming of the Lord, right? So we understand that. We know the prophecy. We understand that Israel will be in war with everybody, okay, in the Middle East, and they will be almost destroyed before the Lord returns, okay? So we know that. We know that Israel is going to go to war with Iran and Pakistan and everybody, right? Everybody hates everybody in the Middle East hates Israel. Okay, now they don't hate. Now here's the thing: they hate the people in Israel. They don't hate the land. They have nothing against the land. It's the people, right? Because they believe that those people are not the real Jews. Okay, and those people are what Christ said are those posing as Jews, but they are actually the synagogue of Satan. And we call them over here. We call them Zionists, right? We call those people that are in Israel pretending to be the real Jews Zionists, because what they do is they buy up everything. They buy up the media. They buy up the fast food places, and they do all this stuff, and they just basically they set up something in Europe to say we're going to go and buy everything up, and we're going to push our way into Israel and pretend we are the Jews, when in fact the real Jews are the ones, are those who were shipped and put in enslavement and ships and scattered around the world. Okay, and if you read Deuteronomy, you understand who the real Jews are. Okay, it's the people. That's why it's the Hebrew people that are been scattered all around the world. And some of you guys call them the Black Americans, okay, but they're scattered everywhere around the world. Okay, those are the Hebrew people. Okay, and so so we know that because of Deuteronomy. If we didn't have Deuteronomy, we would still know that Zionist lives in Israel, right? But we wouldn't know really who the real Jews were. Okay, we wouldn't know who the real chosen people were if it wasn't for Deuteronomy. So it's kind of weird that a lot of people say that they know, that they know the Bible and they know Christ, but they don't know, but they have never read Deuteronomy that tells them specifically who the real Jews are, right? And that the ones that are in Israel now are pretending. This is why chaos is coming, okay? And this is why Israel and the Middle East have been in constant chaos, is because the Middle East understands that those people in Israel are not the real Jews. Most of them are pretending, and they are the synagogue of Satan, according to Jesus Christ in the Bible, okay? So we're not saying that all the people in Israel are bad people. We're not saying that. We're saying that there's a lot of them that are secretly in Israel pretending to be people they're not. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why the Middle East hates Israel. It's not because of the land. It's because of the people pretending to be someone they're not. Okay, and when I was learning all of this, I didn't know any of this stuff, right? Until I read Deuteronomy, and then I started to understand why the Middle East hates Israel so much. I was like, why do they hate Israel so much? And it's because of the people pretending. Okay, so anyways, So we know that there's going to be a lot of small wars this year coming up in 2017 and into next year, into the years coming into World War III. Okay, and then World War III will be basically NATO versus the BRICS. That's what World War III is looking like, right? The BRICS have set up their own alliance, and they're going to have other special people that are other countries that are going to be aligning with them as well, and it's basically NATO on the other side, right? And what is going on so that the BRICS and China and Russia win World War III is that they are depleting the elites, and the Zionists are basically depleting the Western world, right? They're flooding the Western world in with refugees. They're destroying the Western world's economies. Okay, Obama has reduced our military by half. In his 8 years, so that should tell you they're planning this. This has all been planned because that they want to weaken the Western world, because right now they can't defeat the Western world. Right, the Western world, NATO is too powerful, especially if Turkey is with NATO. Right, we don't know. Turkey is a place where they could be with us or without us at any second, right? Same thing with India. India's with the BRICS, but they also have alliance with NATO, so they're wishy-washy. Okay, so we don't know where those two countries are going to line up. I'm pretty sure if they're smart, they line up with the BRICS, right? Because that's the winning side, and it's all been designed for years, okay, for this to happen this way, okay. So what's happening is they're destroying the Western economy. They're destroying the Western civilization. They're destroying the traditions of the Western world. And how do they do that? They do it through destroying, banks, bank runs, removing the cash, destroying cash from societies, and also bringing in refugees to destroy cultures and traditions and things of that nature. Okay, and bringing impoverished people, and so others in the country don't get removed from their jobs, and then you give the jobs to the refugees, and you pay them cents on the dollar, right? So that's what's going on. We even saw it in Florida, where Walt Disney fired everybody. Down in Orlando, Florida, Walt Disney, they just fired everybody, and then they brought in refugees, and now they're paying those refugees in Disney World, pennies on the dollar. And that's what's happening in America, as the Democratic Party and Obama's administration has flooded America with refugees and illegal aliens, and they're doing it on purpose because it's going to remove the American citizens from their jobs, and it's going to place refugees and illegals in your positions. This is one of the reasons why I've been hampering on the other channel, the main channel, to get online. Get online, because you're soon to lose your job, if you don't, because they're replacing you guys, unfortunately, with computers and illegals and refugees. And then we've seen it in Germany. It's been a disaster in Germany, and they're in big trouble. France is going through the same thing, big trouble. So what are they doing? They're weakening the Western world, because they have to. That's the only way China, Russia, and the BRICS are going to defeat the Western world, is if they weaken it through refugees, through chaos, and through weather. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to see in the near future. We're going to continue to see more refugees plunge into America and into the Western world. We're going to see the currencies start to devalue themselves, and then we're also going to see just a lot more chaos in the Western world. And we're also going to see a lot of weather disasters by them using the HARP as well. And this is going to weaken the Western world as we get closer to World War III. Okay, and so once we finally are in that World War III, where North Korea, China, Russia, Brazil, Iran, and the BRICS countries are going against NATO. Basically what's left of Europe, and Europe is going to be devastated, right? So Europe and America and whoever else is part of NATO at that time, because we don't know who's going to be really part of NATO at that time, and that's it. So most of the world going against basically America and Britain and some parts of Europe, right? And maybe Turkey, and India if they join NATO, which I don't think they would, because that would just be stupid. Okay, so we know who's going to win that war, right? But it doesn't happen overnight. It started years ago. Ladies and gentlemen. It's a design plan to take the Western world down. Okay, and this is why I told you guys, years ago that it's been a design plan. And so when World War III happens, Russia is going to own most of Northern Europe, and China will own the southern parts of Europe, and basically China will own most of the southern countries under the equator, and Russia will own most of the countries above the equator. And, I've been saying this, and this is exactly what's coming. Okay, so we understand that and now people are going to say, well, where are we going to be? Because it's a nuclear war. And most of us will probably die in this war, in World War III, since it's a nuclear war. Yeah. We don't know. Are we the I'm not sure we're the one. The 144,000 elect, or whatever the number is that God has chosen to cover in World War III. Are we going to be here? Are we going to be taken to the safe place, the safe zone? Is God coming for us to go to the safe zones? Are we going to be what they call raptured up when this takes place? We don't know. We don't know. Okay, it's up to God. But if you're here for World War III, I'm pretty sure God is going to seal you, and he's going to put a seal on you, and he's going to make sure that you're covered regardless of what happens. Okay, so because if you're meant to be here for World War III, then God has a plan for your life, right? So if you're not, then you might have been gathered up by then. Okay, so we don't know. We do not know the future of that, but we do know the results of World War III. The China and Russia and the BRICS and the Eastern world will defeat the Western world in World War III, and it's all been by design by the elites to weaken the Western world so that they don't win World War III. Okay, but in between that, we're gonna see a whole bunch of different wars. Is small wars, not World War III type wars, but a lot of small wars, and it's gonna be, it's just gonna be, especially this year in 2017, it's gonna be a whole bunch of small wars going on, and Israel's just gonna be in war with everybody, right? They're just gonna be in war with everybody in the next 3-4 years. Israel will be at war with everybody in the Middle East. Okay, so look out for that. Look out for the small little wars that are gonna start everywhere. I know we're fighting in Mosul. We're fighting in Syria, and they got Aleppo back, and there's gonna be other wars that are gonna start. And what Russia and China want to do is they want America involved in all of these little small wars. They want America to stay busy in these little small wars, okay, because it bankrupts America from having to fund these wars, okay, and it also keeps us busy that we're not protecting our homeland as well, okay. So one of the things that Russia and China want to do is they want to involve America in every small war that is going to be happening, to bankrupt America that way, and also to keep Americans' army and military busy outside of America. And that's the way that they're going to be able to invade America, in the future. So look out for that. Look out for Russia and China to bring America in these little small wars that are going to be happening. So America, actual homeland, is vulnerable for invasion. Okay, and we already told you that Russia will invade America from the east, and China will invade America from the west. Okay, and of course, the Lord said it's going to take about 3.5 years to get them out. I think he said 3.5. I think that's what he told Prophet Solomon. About 3.5, 4 years to actually get them out of America, and the South will be the ones that actually get them out. Okay, so look out for that. And yeah, World War III. Thanks for the question. World War III is going to be interesting. It's going to be a nuclear war, and I don't know if we're going to be here or not. That's up to the Lord, but you will be safe if you stay holy. So eyes open. Peace out.